Welcome to the Personal Development Mastery Podcast. I am Agi Keramidas and my mission is to inspire you to rise up, grow, stand out and take action towards the next level of your life. I am interviewing leaders, influencers, entrepreneurs, authors, exceptional people who can and will inspire you to improve your life. Tune in for 2 episodes each week, every Monday and Thursday. This is the second half of the interview with Eirini Kapsidou. Listen to the previous episode, number 64, for the first half, where Eirini talked about spirituality, shamanism, and healing. So the other thing I wanted to discuss with you, it's a big topic, and I know you're very intentional and passionate about it, is the feminine energy and its role, its power, characteristics, all those things. So it's such a big topic. I'm just unsure of where to begin. So actually, I will begin by asking you to tell us what is your position, what is it that you do in regards to the feminine energy?
Well, what I do is that first of all, right now I give some workshops online and on site and some personal coaching to women who want to find back their power. But I want to explain what power means, because it's a very tricky word. Because when we say power, we think of manly power, yes, of manhood. But power in this sense is a bit different, because feminine power is a bit different. Because the power of a woman is actually found in her femininity, in how feminine she can be, how sensual she can be. And when I say sensual, I don't only mean sexual, but I mean how much she can connect with the senses, through the senses, with everything. Because in our life and our day, the senses are not really given a very big importance. What is given importance is the mind, which can be considered as a more male attribute. But women, actually also men, have this power, yes, because we both have the feminine and the masculine energies inside us. But as women, because this energy has been really repressed by society, by the expectations of society, by social rules, by the fact that you have to work the whole day, that you have to be like a hero by working, by bringing up children, by doing all the chores in the house, by whatever you may you may imagine. So all these things we're trying to put aside, and we're really trying to bring up our inner power, let's say, because there is this conflict again. And this is a conflict that I had experienced also in my own femininity. The conflict that, on the one hand, I wanted to be free, I wanted to be who I am exactly. On the other hand, there were some rules and some ideas, social ideas, that I had to really go by. So there's a really big conflict, and we're trying to reconcile this, to really understand who we are, our true nature. But, well, when I say nature, it's not a very good word. It's like, it's our true conscious flow, let's say. And reconcile this with all these ideas that we have about what it means to be a woman in our day and age. So what does it mean to be a woman, you may ask? Well, it's a very, very unique experience for every woman. Just like you would say that, I mean, if I said that a man is to be this and this and this, you would say, no, but I'm not exactly like what you're describing. And this would be a stereotype if I described, for example, if I said that a man had to be brave and strong, and I don't know, how to have a very strong physical body and all these things. This would be a stereotype. So if I said that a woman has to be feminine, sensual, and she has to, I don't know, wear beautiful clothes, and she has to wear makeup, and she has to become a mother, and all these things, like, this is like a stereotype of what a woman is.
Yeah.
So what I suggest is that every woman and every man at the same time discovers for themselves what they are and who they are and what they want to be. Because, as I said before, also we have different energies within us. We have masculine, feminine energies. They are all in play inside us. And we really need to learn about these energies. First of all, what is this energy? If we're suppressing something and we don't know what it is, we need to bring it to the surface. We need to learn what it is first.
Yeah. So I want you to explain a bit more about the concept of the feminine power. You said being sensual, connecting through the senses. I still, maybe because I'm a man and I can't understand exactly how you mean it. I want you to describe a bit more in detail what do you mean by the power, or even maybe how you can, or how a woman can connect with that
Can
power.
access it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what is this power? It is very difficult to describe it because you have to really feel it inside you. But let's say that this power is very, very emotional. It is very much connected with love. And it is also connected with everything around. So let's say that through your senses, you connect with everything around, with what you see, what you can touch, what you can taste, what you can feel, like kind of sensations that you have. All these things we really don't pay attention to in our everyday life because we have to go from home to work, to our car, then again, come back home, sleep. So we don't really give a moment. We don't have a moment or 2 moments or 3 moments to really feel what this life is, because life is actually very feminine. Nature is very feminine, Mother Earth. Yeah, we use this feminine way to describe Mother Earth. Also in shamanism, the present in which we live, it actually has a very feminine quality. And even in Siberian shamanism, there is a specific goddess who is called Umai, who is actually the goddess of the present moment. So you can understand that if we can actually be in the present moment, then this is what we would call a very feminine energy. But as I said before, it doesn't mean that you're a woman. Yes, it means that you have this feminine energy inside you. Being more in action and thinking about the future, for example, expanding, planning, all this is like a more male energy. The feminine energy is like completely being present. Like you can imagine a very beautiful queen. Yes, a very beautiful queen who is fully decorated and is exquisite in her beauty. So she just stands there and everybody is in awe. This is the feminine energy. It's like she doesn't have to do something to attract. She doesn't have to try. The feminine energy is the one that actually receives more. So it is important to be in contact with this energy because although in life we may think, as we said before also, that we are controlling some things or that it's us who are actually doing, and if we do something, then we're going to get a result. Although we may have this thought, this idea, then there is this other kind of energy that is receptive, and then maybe you can also use this energy and you can enjoy this energy in your life because you have it in you. Because repressing this energy will not do any good. Repressing anything is not good. So since you have this energy inside you, you need to give it a moment or two to breathe, to come out, to relax, to just be there present with your energy, with yourself, to receive without really having to do and try. And also, this is very much connected with a more meditative state, as you can imagine. But it's a meditation that has to do not so much with the mind, but with the body, the senses, emotions. It's like a different kind of meditation, like feeling present in everything you have, like more like mindfulness, but I don't like the word because it has to do with the mind. It's like being present, I would say. And there are many practices that women can use to come to this state. And men also, if you want to explore your feminine aspect. And one of these practices, which is very easy also to do, is dance. Yes, what I teach and I use is belly dancing, because belly dancing is a really amazing way to come in touch with this energy. And it can help women in so many ways. If you do it correctly, if you just do it for sport, it will help your physical body very much to open because you use a lot of muscles and areas in your body that you're not using in your everyday life. So it will be very beneficial for the woman. Sorry. Especially using her belly, moving the energies that are in her belly is going to be really beneficial. And also, if you do it in an energetic way, following your breath, for example, while you're making movements, then you will be able to open up your energy on a very deep level, your emotions on a very deep level. There are women who do this kind of dancing and they start crying, for instance. Or they feel really relaxed very deep inside them because something very profound has opened up. So this is something that you can keep in mind. This is a practice that you can do. You can start belly dancing, like simple movements, or you can dance in general. Dance is a way to open up this feminine energy more and more, and to come in contact with what we would call the etheric body. This is maybe something new. I have to explain it.
Please do.
The etheric body is like a second body that we have around us. It has the form of our body, but it's energetic. And it's very important in shamanism, especially this body we use to, let's say, go and have lucid dreams, go to other people's dreams and travel to other dimensions and do things like that. So it is really important. It's also helping us to have the right instinct about things. Like, for example, the animals have this also very much developed. For instance, you know that animals feel tsunamis, for example, or earthquakes. Yeah, this feeling that they have, this instinct, is generated in the etheric body and not so much in our physical body. I don't know if I should elaborate more on that, or is it clear?
I understand that it's yeah, I get it. I actually want to thank you because you earlier on you gave a very good definition, if you want, or a distinction between the masculine and the feminine energy, which is, I don't think it's very well known out there. Especially the way you said that feminine is about being present and receiving, whereas the masculine is more like doing, planning the future. And there is this, as far as I am aware anyway, but tell me what your thoughts are, this kind of misconception that a man has to be masculine full on and a woman has to be feminine full on, and you already answered in a way that they are combined, but what are your thoughts on this misconception or this
Yes.
error that there is out there?
Yeah, there's an error in the system.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so it's a very good question. Actually, what I have learned in my path and journey is that first, as a man, you really have to reach this absolute masculine energy that people are talking about. And as a woman, you really need to reach this absolute feminine energy that people are talking about. And then you will be able to reconcile the two. Because it doesn't really, it's not so evident that I can say, for example, now that, all right, we need to be both masculine and feminine in our life and use the different energies as needed and as required. Yeah. But it's not so evident. I mean, how do we start doing this? And what is this? I mean, what is this masculine and feminine energy? And what we know from society is that, as you said, that the masculine has to be macho. I was watching a series like some days ago, and you could see like the masculine had to be a fighter, and the feminine had to be really slow and soft, and listening to the man and being obedient and all this. Yeah, there is this stereotype, and unfortunately, it still exists. And women have tried to overcome this by going to the other side of being completely masculine. And of really doing and planning and trying to do everything and taking the reins. And then the male part, the men, actually not the male part, but the men are becoming effeminated in a way that, or that their masculinity is taken away by women in this sense. So this is also not the right way to do it. So what I would suggest is that, first of all, the man has to feel this male energy and to really take it up to its highest level. And the woman has to feel this feminine energy and take it to its highest manifestation and level. When I say highest manifestation and level, what I mean is like, you can think in your mind like the not the low stereotype you have of a man or a woman, but like the high expression of it. Like, for example, the brave warrior who has like a really strong and big heart and who loves women very much and who would die for a woman, this kind of higher expression. And then the woman can have this higher expression who is actually a bit like a priestess, like a healer, like somebody who, or like a mother, like a motherly figure, but really deeply, who can deeply heal with love. So these are a bit like the archetypes we have in our mind of the highest forms and manifestations. Or if you want, because the woman is actually not only the mother, the woman is also the seductress. Yes. So this part also has a highest or higher form, a higher value that you can reach. So you can, for example, open up this sensual, sexual energy in the woman, and she can manifest it in its highest degree. This is very difficult to explain now, but And it doesn't really mean that the woman is going to be only sexual and nothing else. It means using this energy to really attain a higher level of consciousness, like what you have in a tantric philosophy, for example. So it means that the woman needs to learn to express this energy first, to express it totally and completely, because this energy is really very much repressed in our society, unfortunately, even though it's not so much of a taboo issue anymore. Women and men don't really know how to express this energy freely. So they have to first express this energy, and then when they express it, they will be liberated from it. And when they're liberated, they can really reach a higher level of consciousness, because it will not be in their mind anymore, in their body. There will not be a need for it anymore. So yes, if you can reach these two high ideals, then you can learn to go to the opposite pole, which is for men the feminine and for women the masculine. But you have to do it in a very conscious way and through awareness, and not really, for example, to say, okay, if I want to be successful in this life, I have to work like crazy, and I have to show that I can be more of a man than the other men are, and things like that. It's not exactly like this. You have to be aware of what this energy is, what it gives you, how you can use it, how to be a woman, but also be brave, for example. How to be a woman, but also to be ready to sacrifice yourself for a higher goal. Or how to be a man and also learn how to be present in your emotions. This is like a very big issue for men. Emotions. So women have, let's say, difficulty in expressing their sexual energy, but men have difficulty in expressing their emotions very often. So if they can learn to do that, it means that they are more in contact with their feminine side. By that, I don't mean to start being whiny, for example, and expressing your emotions all the time and crying all the time, because this is also a misconception. For everything, we have to be conscious, and for everything, there's always a time and a way. And if a man, for example, feels like they need to cry, they should cry, and that's it. And without having second thoughts about it. Yeah.
I know, and it comes back to what we started saying earlier about the misconceptions and the stereotypes and what society has programmed us to be or to behave like, which is more wrong than right from so many aspects. Eirini, there was one other thing I wanted to discuss with you. Actually, it was you that when I asked you of the topics that you wanted to discuss with me today, you mentioned the shame and vulnerability, which I wanted to ask you to share with me. What was it that you want to speak about these topics, which I completely agree they're very important and not often talked about. But yeah, please share your wisdom.
Well, through my own experience, of course, there are a lot of writers on this topic, like, for example, Brené Brown, who has written really, really excellent books. But through my own experience, yes, there is a lot of shame within every person. Because what is this shame? It really starts from a very deep space, again, within us. And from a very early age, usually when we were children, we have not been accepted as who we are. So when your parents, for example, or your teachers tell you, yeah, you didn't do this correctly, you have to do it in a different way, or this is bad, you should not be doing it, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy. Yes, this creates shame within us because we don't really belong. We cannot belong. We feel like all the others are good and I'm bad. It's like we feel like we're the black sheep in a way. So it creates shame within us, and it's really deep, and we don't realize it so easily. And then when we become adults, this shame is manifested in different forms in our everyday life. For example, in our relationships, there is a lot of shame going on, which creates a lot of fights within a couple, for example. Or maybe this can play out also in the work environment, where, for instance, you might feel ashamed of yourself and of your capabilities, and your personal power cannot really go out and cannot be manifested. So you cannot really show who you are. And maybe you will see that people are treating you like you're nothing because this is what you believe about yourself. You're ashamed of yourself. You're like a poor, miserable thing. So the shame is there. And at the same time, we are creating like a defense mechanism, which is to show that we're strong in order not to show the shame out, not to show that we have the shame. So we try not to be vulnerable in a way. We try to be very strong, to show ourselves as very strong, and that we can deal with everything, and that we have everything under control. And vulnerability is actually when you start being in control in a way, and you let everything out of you. Sometimes this happens by accepting something or by admitting something. Other times it happens by showing your weak side, by crying, for instance, or by having some emotions that make you feel weak in quotation marks, but you're not really weak, because these two notions, weak and powerful, weakness and power, they're really, again, very misunderstood. So I feel it's very important to have these moments of vulnerability. Of course, you cannot expect people to do this all the time, because this would mean that they would break down, that things would not be efficient in everyday life. And maybe there is actually some degree to which we can express this vulnerability, but I suggest that you should start showing it more and more, especially to the people that you can trust. For instance, within a couple, let's say, or within a friendship, or with your family, maybe, or with just anyone you can trust. Maybe you can start showing this vulnerability that you have inside you. And this is actually related to your feminine aspect also. And you will see that this will set you free, really, because it can make you feel that you're connecting with the person you're sharing this vulnerability with. And then you will feel that like you belong somewhere also. And then the shame will also start melting away. So it is really magical to have some moments when we can show our true self, if you want, because for people, this true self is weak and it's vulnerable, but it's really who you are. It's like you're a flower, and within your core, you have this beautiful, I don't know how you actually call it, but it's the part where the bees go to get the nectar.
Yes.
Yes, this part.
I can't remember. Yes, I know. It's really
but
nice.
it's covered with all the petals, for example, and it's really well covered. But then the flower can actually open up so that the bee can go and get the nectar. So you can open up this vulnerable spot of yours so that the others can enter, and you can interact with them, and you can connect with them. And this is really magical, and this can help in any relationship also. Instead of, for example, becoming selfish or wanting to show that we're stronger or that we are right, for instance, all the time, once we can say, okay, you are right, you're right, I'm wrong, and let's talk about it more.
I like so much you use the word magical, and I love that word, and I think it is you used it in the perfect meaning and in the perfect context in this situation. It's magical indeed. Irini, we've talked about so many things. I have some quick fire questions I want to ask you, but
Okay,
before we
sure.
do that, you said you wanted to share and do a drum meditation. So do you want to explain a little bit about it, and we can do that, and then I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions to start
All
wrapping
right, sure.
these things up.
Okay. Well, I wanted to offer today to our listeners a very short meditation with a drum. So this means that I'm going to be playing the drum and maybe singing. And I want us to connect through this with our heart. I want us to connect with our true heart, our true desires, our true wishes, and our true self, let's say, and to be able to understand and realize more and more what we want. So this will be just a very short meditation to do that, but we can start by this, and you can experience a bit what it means to do the drumming.
Awesome. I suppose that I would, if anyone is driving, they should probably not do it right now. But apart from that, it's for
Yes,
everyone else.
it's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a good idea. Or they can just listen to it and try to connect. So I'm holding my drum right now, and I would like you to close your eyes. First of all, take some deep breaths. Relax where you are. You're probably sitting somewhere or standing. So you can, if you want, sit down and find a moment to do this. A moment for yourself where there will be no external influence. And I would like to ask you to put your hands on your heart, on your chest, in the area of your heart. And you can talk to your heart through the beating of the drum. And you can feel what your heart is telling you. Listen to your heart. Take deep breaths. Let all the stress out and just connect with who you are deep inside, your true inner self, an expression of a great divine power. If you want to move, you can move. You can move your body, your hands, your arms, your legs, your head. You can even stand up and start a small dance. Now, place again your palms on your chest, on your heart, and feel deep gratitude for who you are, for your life path so far. Deep gratitude. You have made it so far. You have been through difficult moments and beautiful moments. And this has made you who you are. You have learned so many things from life. Be grateful for this. And you can bow down a little bit your head if you want, as a sign of thankfulness to the universe, to this power that exists, to consciousness, or however you want to call it, to God, however you want to call it. And you can take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes when you're ready.
Magical. Namaste, Eirini.
Namaste.
That was magical. Makes it now trying to do anything that is quick fire. It's like
yes, I wanted to tell you
opposite.
before. Yeah, it would be a bit difficult, but okay.
Oh well, we can try. It's a different take to the to the questions, but this short drumming meditation was very soothing and very calming, grounding. Yeah, very. Yeah, I said magical, so
I'm very happy you felt like this.
And you have a beautiful voice as well. So
thank you. Thank you.
The singing voice very.
It's the first time I do it publicly like this. So.
Oh right, okay, that's great. It's my honor that you shared it.
It's
in
my
honor.
Podcast. It's my honor. Thank you.
So, Eirini, do you want to tell me then what does personal development mean to you as a term?
Well, personal development is getting to know your limits, getting to know yourself, getting to know what you're capable of. Sometimes it doesn't come easy, but as I said before, all the experiences we've had in our life are blessings, and they help us to develop. If you want, it's not really development, but to open up more and more and connect. And as an author once put it, like to emerge. I don't know if you know Derek Rydell. He was talking about emergence more than development. But I do feel that this is the right term to use, like to let everything out of you emerge, really. And not only out of you, but to feel the connection through what is inside and outside. I feel that this is really when you develop. And of course, life takes you there, but also there are specific practices that you can do so that you can go there faster, and that you can really open up more. And so that you don't have to go through difficult situations in your life. It's like you train yourself. It's like a training, like a boot camp, let's say, so that you learn to accept more who you are, to connect with your vulnerable side, and to emerge as who you are, and to connect with everything.
Thank you. If you could go back in time and meet your 18-year-old self, so before you had the meeting with the Siberian shaman, what's the one piece of advice you would give her?
Fasten your seatbelt, first of all. It's going to be a tough ride. No, not a tough ride, but a bumpy ride. But the advice that I would like to give myself would be just be more yourself. Just listen more to your heart. Connect more with what you want. That the opinion of others doesn't matter so much. You need to connect more with what you want. Yes, this would be what I would say to my younger self.
Thank you. And if you could wave a magic wand and change something in the world as it is today, what would that be?
Well, I would like people to start becoming more fearless. I would like people to realize that the fear that they're experiencing nowadays is only a product of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're really truly connected with your conscious part, then fear starts disappearing and it's not there anymore. And fear is part of this blah, blah, blah that we have been talking about. That is also cultivated and created by the media, other people's opinions, or maybe some programs in our head that are activated and they make us feel that something is going on. Because the mind always wants to create this feeling, this sensation that something's going on and I have to solve something in order to have an aha moment, in order to be the one who has solved it. So this is all a game of the mind, but it's really not necessary, even for our survival. Well, fear is sometimes necessary for our survival, it's true. And this kind of fear we can listen to, but there are some limits. Yes.
I know what you mean. Eirini, how can people connect with you and find out more about the workshops that you do and all the wonderful work that you're doing?
Sure. Well, they can connect with me on Facebook, first of all, through Inspiring: Education and Coaching, or through my website, which is www.justinspiring.org, or they can just contact me by sending me an email at info@justinspiring.org. And I will be very happy to answer any email, any question, and to connect with anyone who would like to connect with me.
Beautiful. Eirini, is there anything you were hoping we would talk about today and we completely missed it?
No, not really. You're doing it very well, I have to say. You covered everything.
Thank you.
I don't really have
just
something
in
to
case
add.
you had a burning desire to talk about something and it never came up. Now's your chance.
Not really. I think that we've covered many topics, and I think that people can have an idea about what we're talking about after our discussion. Yeah. So if there are any more questions, they can contact me. So
I want to really thank you very much from my heart for this conversation, for everything that you shared, and I truly mean it. And as I told you in the beginning, I was looking forward to this conversation, and yeah, it it exceeded my expectations. So thank you very much, Eirini.
I thank you very, very much as well for inviting me, first of all, for having this wonderful conversation, and from my heart as well, from heart to heart.
All the very best, Eirini. Thank you very much.
All the very best to you too. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please take a moment to subscribe and review Personal Development Mastery on Apple Podcasts, and also share this podcast with someone who you think will benefit from it. If you want to gain access to exclusive content while supporting this podcast, then become my patron. The link is in the show notes, or you can type bit.ly/pdmpat. If you want to know more about what I do and how I can help you, or if you have any questions, join my Facebook group Personal Development Mastery. Again, the link is in the show notes, or you can simply type bit.ly/pdmgroup. And until next time, stand out, don't fit in.